Hello and thanks for watching this Cloud9 ERP Solutions video and subscribing to our YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to show you why you should be using the Reclassify transaction feature. It's a feature that's standard in Acumatica, and in this video, we're going to show you how to use it and why you should be using it. So on my screen, you're looking at a profit and loss, and it's a 12-month rolling. And as we scroll down and we look at our expenses, we see this vehicle repairs and maintenance. And I'll zoom in a little bit. The vehicle repairs and maintenance, you can see if we scroll over to the right, we go up again. The way this report works is it shows our oldest periods all the way to the right, and then it continues onward 12 periods. That's the rolling 12 months. And so we're looking at the oldest period. If we scroll down and we look at this row, you can see that we're spending $68, $72. It continues to go up, and it's under vehicle repairs and maintenance. Now, typically when you're looking at your profit and loss, you can look at these numbers and drill into them to justify those amounts and make sure that they're in the right accounts. And so, for example, if we click on this one, Acumatica shows us first a sub-account breakdown, but if we click on the account, then what we could see is our account details page. Now, account details page allows you to specify a chart of account, and it'll show you all the transactions for the given period. But if we go back and we look, we can see that we have fuel charges, and these fuel charges are being thrown into vehicle repairs and maintenance. We made a mistake. And if you scroll over to the right, you can see that our vehicle fuel continues to increase month by month. Welcome to the economy. But now, how do we fix this? Right? We have this financial report, and this is showing in the wrong bucket, the wrong chart of account. It should be showing up under vehicle gas. And traditionally, you could certainly make a journal entry. I could go in and make a journal entry and credit this vehicle repairs and maintenance for $100 and do a debit to vehicle and gas. But for this report, I'd have to do it every single time there was an occurrence of this. So that might take some time. As a sacrifice with a lot of accounting systems, you could simply say, all right, well, the end of the year, I'll add it all up and I'll make a summary entry for the entire year. But that's not going to look great on this report. And when we take a look at this, this just indicates 12 entries. Imagine if there's a lot more mistakes that have been made. Or maybe I created a new account. I want to break it out. So it wasn't a mistake in the first place. I just don't want to put it under vehicle. I want to start breaking out vehicle repairs and maintenance and gas. So how can I more easily handle that? And that's where we reclassify. So Acumatica has the reclassify option throughout the software. So whether it be a reclassify right from here, so I'm looking at all these transactions and I can reclassify. I can also open up an individual transaction, and many screens have the reclassify option. This one doesn't. I can also open up the individual transaction, and I can reclassify from here. If I open up the actual source transaction, in this case, it was a cash entry. We downloaded our credit card into Acumatica, and we updated our account with the appropriate expense. And again, it went into vehicle repairs and maintenance. We don't have reclassify here, but we do have reclassify. If we go back, we have it under payables. We open up a bill. And this is for released transactions. That's the benefit. Obviously, if the transaction is not released, you can certainly make a change to it. But of course, we were looking at the profit and loss, which means that all those transactions were released. But if we go into the menu here, you can reclassify the GL batch. It'll bring you up into that screen, as well as AR invoices and many other transactions. If we go directly to reclassify, So all of those menu options, whether it's the AR invoice or the account details, they're all helpers. When you hit that button, it brings up those transactions so you don't have to look for them. But if we use the Reclassify, we can simply do a load. We'll select our account. We'll do our starting period. In this case, it's going to be 06/2023, and we'll click load. And you can see Acumatica pulls in all of the different transactions. We can see the amounts here and the transaction date. Now you'll notice there's an account column here and there's a to account column here. And essentially I can go in and make a change here. I can change the GL transaction. So essentially we're classifying this transaction into the new account. But we can also hit replace. And for replace, we can go through all of the records that we loaded initially and use find criteria, and anything we find here, we can replace it with here. So assuming I don't want to change anything, I already did a load of the records that I needed, I can go over here and say, I want to change this to gas, the account. I can also change the transaction description if I want to, but everything else is great. I'll hit the replace button. And you can see we now have the new account there. And now we can click process. So what did this just do? Did it change all the existing transactions? No, we don't do that in Acumatica. The gap compliance of Acumatica means there should always be an audit trail. That's the downfall with something like QuickBooks, where someone could go in and change an old transaction, and you'll never really know about it. So what did we do? Well, Acumatica created those journal transactions we talked about, where it credited the old account and debited the new one. So if we click close here, and we go over to finance, and we select release transactions, you can see all the journal entries that Acumatica has made. If we open it up, we'll look at an example. You could see, once again, we credited vehicle repairs and maintenance and debited vehicle gas. Now, if we go in and we release all these, and by the way, you can have these automatically release and eliminate this step. And then we go back over to our account details screen, and we refresh. What you see here is the countering transaction. So our initial transaction started off in the cash transaction module, $68 being debited. Then there's this other $68 being credited. So you can see all the counter transactions. This one was done in the GL module. That's what Reclassify does. It uses the GL module to create general ledger journal entries to perform this action. But that's what this checkbox is for. It's actually showing us our work. But if we uncheck it and include reclassified, you'll notice there's no transactions here. This makes it very easy for us to see things cleanly, yet we can still see the detail by showing reclassified. So if we go over to our account and we change this to gas, you now see what looks like original native transactions, June 3rd through May 2024, and you see them nice and cleanly until such time where you want to look at it and see the reclassification. Now, if we open up this batch, you can see it's a type reclassification. Acumatica is keeping track of that. You can even scroll over and see the original batch number. So this is journal transaction 2163. That's the type reclassification. And if I scroll over, again, I can see the original batch, which was our cash transaction, where I made the mistake in the first place. Now, if we go back and we run our profit and loss again, and we scroll down, we now see all these transactions properly under vehicle gas instead of repairs and maintenance. So So we can't fix the raising gas prices, but with reclassification, we could save you a lot of time. So hopefully you found this video useful. If you did, please click the like button. And if you have any questions about this or anything else Acumatica, feel free to reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks again, and have a great day.